a tour guide field trip. So I'm just going on until probably around it reaches the lunch. So I'm just outside right now. Damn, 0 viewers. I'll just get at least like 25 and then they don't leave it. Yeah. It doesn't matter anyways. What? We have to walk back? Oh, hello. I am at a field trip right now, University Wisconsin Maddison. I'm vlogging right now, so when I get inside, I'll show you everything that's in there. So just like, comment, subscribe. Tell me how your day's going in the chat. Yeah, just do all of that, and we can have a good day. Oh, hi. Yeah, yeah. Hey guys.
Oh, he has 4.
Yeah. I have no idea.
Oh, who like?
Oh, YouTube. Just vlogging the field trip. Hello, Adrian. Oh, I have 8 viewers now.
For real? Is that
Yeah.
energy got your views?
Hi, person. How's your day going so far? How's y'all's day going so far, guys? Oh, 10 views now. And 2 likes. Thank you for the like. I am just waiting to go on the tour right now. So when it's on the tour, I will show you guys everything that they have. And when it gets around lunchtime, I'm going to show you guys the food and the live there. Then pick up once lunchtime ends. So there's actually going to be 2 lives today. So this is just part 1 out of 2. I guess we're going downstairs now. Oh, I just gained a new subscriber. Thank you to Adrian to subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Yes.
Is he live?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, can I say hi to all your subscribers? Oh no, I was just playing Izzy.
It didn't actually show you. It didn't show you. It didn't show you. Oh. Oh my god, bro. I get these messages all the time. You wanna see the message?
No, I'm good.
Alright.
Keep my Izzy. You're in my way.
Timeout. 20. Your timeout for 1 day now. And delete the message as well. Report. There we go. Oh, right here. And report. I have been doing this for an entire year, Adrian. They have a coffee place. I have been doing this for an entire year, yes. And now I'm on 67 subscribers because of you, Adrian. They have a candy. They have a market down here. Damn, they have everything down here. If you want, you can stay in this live or you can check back later. Yo, I want to go in the elevator, guys.
Go. You can make it. That's it. Okay, that's it.
You want space?
Yeah.
That's it.
Say bye to your friends.
Floor 4. No. Yeah, this is floor 4. Floor 4. This is floor 4. Floor 4. But this does kind of look like what a Las Vegas house looks like. No, I am in. You can check the title, and I said hi back. You can check the title, and you'll see that I'm actually in the University of Wisconsin. Oh, don't move. Alright, guys, play them. Thank you for all the emojis. I appreciate it. This elevator did that. Find access to the lower level or 5th floor. Ugh. You can stay for the whole live, or you can check back in later. Or we could just chat. If you want, you can type whatever you want. But I am going to add a Q&A that you can answer. We can go outside? Oh, sure, go. Oh, okay, so we have to ask questions. I'm going to ask 3 questions. Just to have my phone very well. I'm going to send I'm just going to hide my phone.
Right here.
Bye, Adrian. Bye. Thank you for joining in the live. What? Wait. How do you make them recline? It's me and my nephew, guys. It's me and my nephew. I am wearing all black shoes, black pants, black shirt, black sweater. With complete with my gray and red fanny pack. Hello in person. If you're Adrian, welcome back to the live chat. I hope you have a great live experience.
Alright, so we're still missing like a good amount of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody knows why.
But how are we doing this week? So far, so good?
Yeah.
Just excited for the weekend?
Yeah.
Any fun plans?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Playing video games.
Video games, okay, respect it. Swimming? Alright, very nice. What other stuff are we doing?
Party.
Prom? Prom?
No.
Ooh, very nice. That's fun. That's exciting. That's a good question. I don't really know. Anna took off. Hanging out. I'm low key. You know, I stay inside. I mean, true.
Why do
you know,
people
it's
have
always good to have
bags?
fun, but you know, I'm a not too much fun. I'm a Timberwolves fan, so I've been having a lot of fun with my Wolves doing some work, playoffs. So.
We're good.
We're good.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Well, welcome everyone. We're doing good.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, welcome to the University of Wisconsin Madison. My name is Malik Farr, one of the team members in the Office of Admissions and Recruitment. I am a proud alum of this institution, so everything I say today is super duper biased, but it is super factual as well. So, quick questions. I have a couple questions before we get into it. So we're in ninth grade, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. For those of you who raise your hand, is this like the first time visiting a college campus? Okay, all right. So some of us have been to others. Where's some other places we've been for a college visit? UIC, University of Illinois Chicago, very nice. Others?
Is Northeastern one?
Or these are, yeah. Any others? We've looked at some, maybe a mix. We got a definitely, Northeastern and UIC, definitely some good ones. Another show of hands, how many of you, this is your first time in Madison? Or Wisconsin for that matter? Would you say Wisconsin?
Oh.
Alright, some of us have been here before. Okay, and then first time on campus? Alright, okay, that helps me out. Well, I appreciate you. I got you for about a half hour or so talking all things UW-Madison, and then most importantly, we'll get you walking out on the tour with our lovely tour guides who are truly the most current experts on everything that student experience, what it's like to be a Badger. So definitely, if you have no questions for me, which hopefully I cover everything that you're maybe wanting to know a little bit more about, they can definitely talk a little more about that student experience, right? I can tell you what my student experience was like, but it's going to be real dated, so that's probably not what you're looking for. But also the beautiful thing about being in ninth grade, you still got plenty of time, right, before you actually submit applications. You maybe are starting to stress about life after high school already, which, that's totally fine. But in terms of immediate things to do right now, you've got a shorter list of things to do, right? So this is just highlighting our agenda, which is kind of went over. We'll have time for Q&A and a break before you go on the tour, so we won't just dive right into it. You will have time to get prepared for that walking the tour. But ultimately, the contents of the information session should cover the different academic programs that we have, kind of the admissions requirements actually apply when the time comes, as well as finding your community, all right? The badge feed today should have a future Badgers admission guide in there as well. So I'll be referencing that throughout the presentation. You're welcome to take a look there. If I mentioned something, there's a good chance it's also going to be highlighted in some fashion in that guide. So I'll definitely make references to that during our time together. But if you have a question at any point, definitely just raise your hand, shout it out, let me know. I'm a pretty easy going person. So, all right, well, we always like to start out, we're just talking about the city that we're located, right? So Madison, Wisconsin. For us, it's really important to acknowledge that there is a lot of history and human connections that have taken place here. So for about over 12,000 years, we've had folks inhabit this space, most notably the Ho-Chunk. They are one of the first cultivations of Wisconsin, called this land Deschaux, right? So that means 4 lakes. We are definitely blessed to be surrounded by so many bodies of water. But we have a lovely, our shared future websites that kind of highlights all the history that has taken place here, right? So acknowledging the forcible removal of those communities. And so now we're just the latest to inhabit this space to provide a lot of great experiences for students and beyond. Because at the University of Wisconsin Maddison, you'll hear this term called the Wisconsin idea. So this is really the belief that everything that you're doing, everything that you learn should be contributing to yourself, your community, your state, and beyond. So it's not just enough to benefit yourself, to gain information for yourself, you can find ways to give that back to others. One way you can see this in action is through our UW South Madison partnership. So about 1.5 miles south of campus, we have a building that's just there for the community, right? So it's there for folks to host different conferences, workshops, meetings. There are a lot of meeting spaces, conference spaces, a communal kitchen, and it's just there for the community, right? It's a seamless way for our folks on campus to be able to interact in that space and invite the community in case they're maybe not wanting to come all the way to campus and see what we have to offer. So we do have a lovely database that talks about all the different ways we are seeing our current, past, or I guess somewhat of the future students and staff and faculty kind of living out this Wisconsin idea, right? So that's definitely something that we are thinking about when it's time for that admissions review process, right? So it's kind of a little teaser for admissions review. But otherwise, like I said, I did graduate from here, so I spent a little bit of time, but I spent time elsewhere before coming back to my alma mater. I think Madison's a nice place to be. You got a mix of everything, right? You've got your all 4 seasons. There's a thriving comedy scene. You like stand-up comedy? Maybe sort of admit it, it's fine, it's okay. So we have a lot of comedians that come here throughout the year. Anybody watch Abbott Elementary? Yeah, so the principal, Janelle James, she's actually here this weekend performing at a Comedy on State. Hannibal Burris has been here before. I've seen, actually Pete Davidson when I was in college, he was performing in this union. And a lot of other stuff. So when I definitely am not working or just being a hermit at home, I'm definitely checking out a different comedy show. But otherwise, we've got a thriving food scene. There's definitely a strong theater scene as well. And then we do get occasional big artists from year to year. Like I think Smino's performing here in like June. Tyler Parlee performed here last month. So there's a good amount of things happening in Madison. And we're really close to a lot of other great metros across the Midwest, right? So we're not too far away from Milwaukee. I grew up in the suburbs of Minneapolis, so it takes me about maybe 4 to 5 hours to get to there. And then we're coming from Chicago. How long did it take you? 2 to 3 hours depending traffic. That's not like too bad, right? Like you're not going to do it every single day, but like if you needed to get, like if you were a student, you need to get back home, you got some options, right? You can take the bus, you can do carpool. You can take the bus, you can walk, just take the train down. So I think we're situated in a nice little spot, right? We got something for everybody. It's not too massive. If you're looking for maybe a smaller environment than what you're used to, I think Madison could be the great fit for you. But also you might not be here forever, right? Some folks, they get their degree and then they go back home. Others stick around a little bit longer, right? But the most important thing to really kind of dive into is just how you can find what you're passionate about, right? I'm sure lots of folks, many have asked you at some point in time, what you want to do with your life. Sometimes folks equate that to a particular academic major, right? The core of what they'll be studying as a college student. So instead of asking you that question, I'm going to ask you what academic subjects or classes do you really like? Just shout some out. But what's your favorite subject in school? Biology, okay, that's a good one. Gym? Gym is solid, yes, for sure. Other ones? English, okay, all right, that's important. Okay, all right, sex ed. All right, now let's flip it. Let me ask you a different question. When you're avoiding doing homework or things that you're supposed to do, things that your family or teachers or support system tells you to do, how do you procrastinate your time? What are you spending your time doing?
Video games.
Okay, so if you're okay, I'm glad you're not procrastinating. I'm glad you're getting right to it. Well, when you're dreading having to study, like what are you occupying your time with?
Video games.
Video games, sleep. That's feel that retweet.
My phone.
You're on your phone. Okay, so utilizing technology, traveling. Okay, all right.
If you don't have
Oh, traveling. I heard traveling. Well, I'm just gonna say it was traveling. So if you're maybe having a harder time thinking about what you're really passionate about and distracting yourself when you're supposed to be doing other things, I think this is a kind of great way to start picturing what you might want to study as a college student, right? So in the Badger Guide in your bag, there is an entire list of the programs we offer. So I definitely encourage you to take a look to see what's on there, see what kind of sticks out to you. There's more than likely going to be some programs that you've never heard of before, right? And so at University of Wisconsin Maddison, we do see a lot of students deciding to explore, take a lot of different introductory courses to learn a little more about a topic, right? We do offer a great program for students that have no idea what they want to study as a college student, right? If you're in Android right now, I don't expect you to have everything figured out. But for our students, when they get here and they're still clueless about what they want to pursue, we've got the cross-policy advising services. So basically what that means, it's a separate office. There's a lot of great people there to help you find a program that really speaks to you, that really resonates with you, right? Because as a college student, I want you to, one, pick the school that's going to be the best fit for you. But I also want to make sure you're picking a program that excites you, okay? Because, I mean, have we had some like hard tests and like quizzes and papers to write in high school so far?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the same thing's going to happen when you're a college student, but sometimes for folks that might feel like the end of the world, right? Or the challenge is like times 1,000. So if you're in a program that you're like, you know what, I really like this professor, she's teaching me a lot of great things, I'm studying through the class, it's going to help you progress all the way through your courses, all the way to graduation, right? So it's not just enough to go to college and get accepted. You gotta make sure you finish, right? You gotta make sure you get the degree. So I think that's a really helpful way. Students will find something that really speaks to them, help them find that perseverance, be persistent, and ultimately graduate, right? So, and for those of you that are looking in the Future Advisor Guide, shout out a new major or a new program that you did that you can study in college. Or maybe something that really you're interested in learning more about. What was that? Psychology? Okay, yeah, we got a very strong psych program. Any others on there? Nothing
Art.
you can say yet?
Art.
Art? We do a lot of great things in art. One of my team members went for his master's in art here at Wisconsin Maddison. Business. Yeah, business is also really popular. Well, Scandinavian studies. Did anybody see that there? That's a fun one. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, hopefully you're able to see the mix of programs that we offer and truly how many different options you'll have to explore as a student, right? If you're looking at the screen, you see the word certificates. You're like, Malik, what does that mean? It's essentially kind of like half of a major, right? So students will pick a program to study. That'll be the main focus during their time as an undergraduate student, getting the degree for the first time. And so a certificate will usually be like half of the amount of credits needed for a major. So when I went here, I majored in sociology because I always liked thinking about like society, how things work. And then I got a certificate in integrated local studies, which there are like core concepts. It was like learning is everywhere, but I really stuck with it because it's like a class where we watch the Bible, right? And talked about all the themes and concepts that take place in that show. So I thought it was pretty great, and it put me on the best show in the world. So a lot of different ways students are finding what's right for them and what they're spending some time. So at a broad level, we have 8 different schools and colleges that are home to those 130 different majors that you saw. And there's going to be a lot of support offered in each of those schools and colleges during your time as an undergraduate student, right? First and foremost, we got academic advisor. Is it fun to like not have the answers to how to figure things out? You have to do it all by yourself, right? We don't like that, right? So our academic advisors, they help you plan your classes, plan what courses you're going to take every semester, and help you graduate, right? Now, some of you may be like, you know what, Malik, I'm really self-sufficient. I don't need help. I'm just going to look at the website. I'm going to do it all on my own. Don't do that, because I did that when I was a student. And I just started my major at the end of my junior year, which might not seem like a big deal, but usually folks figure it out by like the end of their freshman year, end of their sophomore year. So don't be like me. Talk to your advisor, because they got a lot of tips and tricks. Like, they are truly paid to know everything about the school and how to better serve you, right? Another great reason why to connect with your advisor, because you might have a subject of courses that you are not a super big fan of, right? Who dislikes math, right? Who dislikes science? So sometimes, as a college student, you're gonna have to take some of those classes, but there's like math lights and like science light classes that you can take. So for example, my senior year, my advisor told me about English class that counted as a science credit. Yo, that's really cool. I wouldn't have found that out on my own. So had I not talked to my advisor, her name was Ellen, I would have never figured that out, and I probably would have been stuck taking like a real science course. And like, this is not where my skill sets lie. I got to do everything in my power to pass this class. But I was able to take an English class. It was great. So your advisors know a lot. They're going to help you get all the way to the finish line, but they can't do that if you're not communicating with them, right? So keep it real with your advisors. Keep them in the loop. Research. UW-Madison is known for being a big research school, right? Technically, we're classified as an R1 research institution, which just means we spend a lot of money each and every year on research. And so if you've ever had a question, or maybe you had a problem and you wanted to be able to kind of solve it, figure out the answer for it, it's kind of what research is in all different possible subject areas across our campus. And so sometimes students will look to like add this to their professional experiences. Some folks use it as a way to get into like graduate school after they graduate with their bachelor's degree. Others will leverage it into a position for full-time employment after graduation. So if you have an interest and you want to live out this kind of idea, find solutions to problems the world is facing, there's a lot of ways for you to do research here on campus. Most notably, there's the Undergraduate Researcher Scholars Program, which is a more formalized option that students can sign up for before we get here. But if you're like, you know what, I've got a curious mind, I like to figure out how puzzles work, I definitely think you'll do well in a research position on our campus, okay? And then lastly, we've got wonderful career advisors to help you make sure you know how to prepare yourself for an interview, how to like build up your LinkedIn presence, how to work on your resume, so you can find like an internship or a job for after graduation, right? Because that's probably what your families are thinking about, right? They're gonna be like, oh, cool, you're gonna go to school, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna get a job? How are you gonna get employed? So that's where our career services and all of our 8 different schools and colleges can really help you out, right? Definitely senior year, busy time to take care of all of that. All right, so in terms of programs that we offer, there are a few that are known as direct entry, okay? So basically what this means is when it's time to apply your senior year, or maybe if you go to other institutions, decide to transfer, at the point before you plan on attending University of Wisconsin Maddison, you would put these programs down as your top choice major, okay? So for dance and music, those are 2 particular majors that are College of Letters and Science and School of Education. And then the College of Engineering and the School of Business are their own school and college, right? I think the biggest thing that I can say right now that'll help you prepare for the future, these programs are definitely looking for folks that have experience in those fields, right? So if you really want to be a dancer, you probably are going to want to be, partake in a professional dance group ensemble, whether it's through your school or an outside organization, things like that. For music, same situation, right? You probably want to make sure you're, signing up for all your choir classes, auditioning for the, auditioned ensembles. It's been a long time since I've thought about choir. And then for College of Engineering and School of Business, we really want to make sure students are super comfortable with math. Okay, so I say this because so many times I'll see a student's application when they apply, and junior year they took like algebra 2, and then senior year they're like, you know what, I'm just gonna take stats. Don't do that. Take pre-calculus, right? Or if you're taking pre-calculus senior year, and then you're moving into next year, if it's available, take calculus, right? So it's always a good idea to take more than what's required for high school graduation, right? Go a step beyond the possible. Because this helps you become a more competitive applicant wherever you're looking at going, okay? So that's like my 2 seconds on my soapbox. But these are programs you can consider work directly with your business application, right? In terms of what we're looking for, this information is a little less relevant because, honestly, it's a long ways out. A lot of this could change. The biggest takeaway here, make sure you're understanding what each school is asking you to submit, right? This list is not going to look the same as the list that Northeastern's going to ask for, that USC's going to ask for, that Yale, Stanford, wherever schools you're looking at are going to ask for, right? So it's always important to have a solid understanding of what schools are going to ask for you for the admissions application, right? Yeah, again, these can change. I'm not going to get too into the weeds, but you will also have a reference, a point in time with that future badger side of what we were asking students to submit to us basically next year, right? Our admissions process, however, probably won't change a whole lot between now and you end up applying to schools. So we utilize what is known as a holistic review process. All right, so we're not just looking at your GPA, we're not just looking at your transcript, we're going to take a look at everything you submit to us. The goal here is to provide us more information as opposed to not enough. The biggest things I see folks perhaps do incorrectly is not talk about a personal circumstance that maybe impacted their grades at any time in high school, right? We don't need all the deets, but you can be like, you know what, I had a traumatic experience, my first year of high school, this is how it impacted my grades, this is how I bounced back, here's what I learned from it. That's pretty much all I would need to know, right? Be like, oh, okay, cool, you learned some things, you've been through some things, and you allowed it to not stop yourself, and you allowed yourself to keep pushing, right? That's phenomenal. You don't need to go into weeds of what happened if you don't want to disclose, right? That's totally fine. But anything you think has impacted your academic journey is something any admission counselor is going to want to know about, right? And then we also just want to know how you're spending your time outside of class, right? For this, we definitely stress quality over quantity. So I don't need you to submit like a list of like 100 different things that you've done, but like maybe if you volunteered, with like Boys and Girls Club, your entire time in high school, like you had a part-time job and you help take care of family members. Those are all things I love to know about, right? So whatever like really resonates well with you, whatever is the most, or whatever activities are the most impactful, influential activities that you participated in high school, those are definitely the ones you want to talk about, right? So we're looking at all of that in addition to your academics and the context of your high school, right? So we are definitely seeing students preparing themselves and taking some pretty challenging courses at their high school that are not just the regular standard courses, right? So do you guys have like AP, IB with the moment? Yep, AP. Okay, so if you've got some AP options, I definitely recommend taking those as much as you're comfortable with, right? Don't wait to junior year to take them all, or senior year to take them all, right? If you have a chance, maybe sophomore year, take a class, see how it goes. If it goes well, junior year, maybe take a couple more. And then if like you really just want to, fly high, take all of them, senior year, go for it. But we really want to see students that are preparing for that transition to UW Madison Because truly, I've not yet met a student who said, hey Malik, high school is actually a lot harder than what's here. It's just pretty easy. I have not met that student yet. They may exist, but they have not crossed paths with me. So, the name of the game for admissions is all about preparing yourself for success, right? We want to set you up for success, and by taking a look at the classes, making sure that you've had a chance to overcome some obstacles, that you've changed up how you prepare for the class that you study, so you can also find that success here as a Badger. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like really, really preachy, but like, I have so much time. Like, people that come to me, they're like 11th grade, 12th grade. I'm just like, yo, the dust is settled. Like, so look at your class. I can't really take much time. So yeah, this is again. If you prepare for UW-Madison, you'll be preparing for a lot of other schools as well. You find yourself in another position. So yeah, questions about our review process? These are our deadlines. Again, a little less important because things could change in the future. We have different rounds for students applying from high school. So the first round is early action. Other schools might offer like early decision. That is more like, that's like a binding contract that students will sign on. And really, if you're looking at a school that does not meet 100% of demonstrated financial need, definitely don't apply early decision because then they'll lock you in and then you might not be able to afford it, which is no good. But early action just means you apply early, you hear back early. That's all that it means, right? Students that submit their application by November 1 and have all the materials submitted by November 8th will hear back from us by the end of January as it currently exists, right? So that's not bad. There's maybe some other schools that'll get you a quicker decision. This year we had about like 70,000 total applications, so that's a lot of apps, a lot of manpower to review all of that information you're submitting and reviewing to make sure that we're making the right decisions possible. So we just need a little more time to come through all of those, right? Regular decision is the second round students can apply for. It just provides students more time to get all their ducks in a row. Sometimes the students have had a challenging junior year. Maybe they'll wait till regular decision for those first semester grades or senior year to be available. Be like, hey, you know what? Here was my situation junior year. Here's where I'm at senior year. I'm feeling a lot better about it. I've learned a lot. I'm ready to bounce back. And I think my grades are going to reflect that. So sometimes we'll see students in that situation waiting. Others just maybe haven't missed the deadline. Maybe they thought November 8th, was the deadline, and so they didn't apply by November 1st, and so they would have to wait until regular decision. So no downside of waiting to apply in regular decision. You'll just find out of the decision later. I think students this year found out by the end of March if they applied in regular decision, right? And then we have our different transfer deadlines as well. So might be the same, might look a little bit different by the time they're applying. We also have a good amount of resources for students in finance education. The Office of Student Financial Aid has a great website that will cover the cost of attendance, how to submit the free application for federal student aid, as well as talking about scholarships. There's also like a net price calculator. So this is like a common theme or a common service schools provide, so you can kind of get an estimate of how much you might be expected to pay between you and your family as a college student, right? I could be saying a lot of great things. You're like, oh, cool, Madison seems like a great spot. But then if you go through the net price calculator, and then it shows you, you don't qualify for any aid. You're going to have to pay $61,000 a year to go to UW-Madison. You're like, yo, that's a lot. And my mom did not help me through college. So your parents might be like, hey, we can provide a small amount, a larger amount, or none of it. So it's really important to know kind of what is going to be responsible for you to cover in terms of those costs, right? There's a lot of ways to help bring that down. Financial aid will provide different government options as well as aid given through our financial aid office. We primarily give need-based aid. So in the past, we have been able to give some decent awards to students from out of state. It hasn't been consistent, so I am hopeful by the time that you are applying to UW-Madison, we can kind of continue our strong aid offers to our non-resident students, non-res being not Wisconsin students, or non-Wisconsin students. But we also have the Wisconsin Scholarship Hub, which has a list of all the scholarships students can be considered for. Most of them, you're automatically considered for with your admissions application, and then there's like a few that will require you to submit a separate one, right? But every school should be able to provide some guidance on these concepts, right? They're gonna let you know what it's like to attend as a student coming from where you're coming from, what type of awards they get out through financial aid, and what their scholarship application or situation might look like, right? So it's really good to ask about these questions for any school that you're looking at in the future, right? So yeah, you're welcome to, again, reference the Bachelor's Guide. I think they have more specific costs in there highlighted, as well as websites for our school. To make it to, so it's good resource. Cool. In terms of our campus community, as you will walk around today, you'll see some folks across campus, but technically it's summer break now. So you're kind of getting like a behind the scenes tour. We just wrapped up commencement this past weekend. The finals was the week before that. And so I think visiting campus now in ninth grade during the summertime is a great place to start, right? You're like, okay, I'm getting a general feel for campus. I'm seeing how things work. And where people are spending a lot of their time, right? But we have over about 35,000 undergraduate students, so students that are all working towards the first bachelor's degree. And then typically we see about 8,400 students each and every year start with us for that first year's class, right? So on the grand scale, the grand scheme of things, we are going to be on the larger schools that are possible to attend, but it's always going to be a lot easier for you to make a big school feel a lot smaller, right? So we've got a lot of ways for you to engage and really kind of customize the Wisconsin experience. We have what are known as first year interest groups, which are like a combination of classes you can take together around a central theme. So we've got like a food cultures of Italy FIG, we have like a children's media FIG, and about like 65 other options that you can sign up for your first year, right? So it's a great way for you to take a set of classes with the same people in a smaller setting and feel like you're getting a little more of that personalized attention and that assistant that transition to Madison. Service learning is a big deal for us. We do have a lot of students like to get back with their time, and so some of the courses will actually have a community component, right? So like computer science 402 is all about providing computer science instruction at K-12 centers, right? So there are some classes you can actually sign up for that will get you in the community, giving back of your time, and have that be a part of your actual course you're taking, okay? Okay, there we go. But otherwise, there are a lot of different identity centers across campus that exist for students, for folks to just be in community with each other. A lot of them are actually going to take place or be hosted in the Red Gym, which is the building, what is that, east of us, just in front of you, if you were to look through. Actually, you can look through that one right there, the Red Gym right across the back. So that's a great space to be familiar with, to check out during your time here. And then we also have some other centers across campus. We also have like Recwell, which is our university recreation centers. So we have 2 big workout facilities in both neighborhoods. So your tour guys will probably talk about the lay of the land for housing. But essentially, we have 2 distinct neighborhoods, one being Southeast, which is, I don't know if people would consider that part, but we're close to South. But that's just my opinion. I'm biased. Again, don't let me influence you. I find ways to make this somewhat large school feel a lot smaller, okay? All right, so I am very shocked at the fact that I'm wrapping up early. The next steps that I would encourage for y'all, just continue to explore the opportunity you have at your disposal. You get involved with what you're passionate about. Think about how you're learning things from what you're participating in, how it's impacting you, if maybe it's shaping what program you want to study as a college student, and then taking those AP classes when you can, right? It's not just enough to do well in school, get involved. We want to make sure you're taking challenging courses so that when you get to Madison, you're ready for that challenge, right? That you're going to transition quite nicely. And so, yeah, for us, specific. But this is our contact information. So anytime, if you have questions, especially as maybe you're getting closer to applying, you're welcome to give us a call, send an email to the address. We're happy to really answer any and all of your questions. And so with that, anything I didn't cover, any questions that are coming up now? My mom says I mumble, so I'm trying to work on it. So let me know if that was the case. Yeah, in the back.
How have you liked it here?
How have I liked it here?
Yeah.
So I enjoyed my time when I was a student. I went to a larger high school in the suburbs of Minneapolis, so I kind of like knew what I was signing up for. It was kind of just like not like high school